Coming up today on Community Schools Impact, we'll hear from Glen Burnie Park Elementary, Annapolis Middle School, and Freetown Elementary. Welcome back to Community School Impact. I'm your host, Adal Carter, and today we're highlighting the fantastic work being done at 3 of our community schools. Joining me today are Samantha Saunders from Glen Burnie Park Elementary, Amy Beller from Annapolis Middle, and Sherry Downs from Freetown Elementary. We're going to dive into the incredible ways their schools are transforming students' lives and building stronger communities. So let's get started. Samantha, Glen Burnie Park Elementary has become a true hub for families in your community. Can you tell us how you've been able to build partnerships that really make a difference in what you're able to offer students and families?
Yes, hi, thank you for having me. So Glen Burnie Park is a second year elementary school or community school, and the work last year with our needs assessment provided us with an opportunity to reach out to local businesses, organizations, providers, and partners really in this work. So we've been quite fortunate. We've been able to do a number of things in our first year, starting with clubs. The culture at Glen Burnie, there were teachers doing clubs without being paid just because they wanted these things for students. Yeah. And so now we can honor their time and their planning for it and their commitment, really. We have partnered with a few local organizations to run some of those clubs. So we had a step club last year that went really well. We have a great deal of involvement with our PTO. We've been doing quite a few things with multicultural events. This year, we're excited to do some Hispanic nights to welcome our families, making sure that they know that we are a place for them, or a safe place for them to come and share their needs. And, we make sure that our families are definitely supported, whether it be through just social engagement or even just some of those needs that come up.
Yeah, that's really inspiring, Samantha. It's clear those partnerships have made a huge impact with your school community. So speaking of impact, do you have a particular story about a student or a family who's been significantly helped through the support of your community school?
Yeah, so not a specific story, but I will tell you this, that the number of families that have just talked about some of the club offerings that we have, and how excited kids want to come to school because they have club on that day, that has been and then the field trips, being able to do the 2 field trips in a year. Previously, they were able to do 1, and last year, with the support of PTO and with community schools braiding together, we were able to send our kids to those 2 different field trips, which we know give them that enrichment that they need as they're in school during the week.
Absolutely. So I love hearing these success stories. They really show how deeply a school can impact individual lives. So now, I know engaging families can sometimes be a challenge. What's one strategy you found most effective in bringing families into the fold and making them feel connected to the school?
So I think presence speaks volumes. Our leadership team at the school is all in. We, and when I speak to presence, I mean like at arrival, at dismissal, personal phone calls home to introduce yourself, to kind of really speak to families. Everything is communicated in Spanish, all of our communication, and we just keep that open communication. So if there are questions, there's always someone you can contact that can help you figure things out a bit.
That's fantastic. I know that the services that you all are providing really are resounding with the families, but how do you make sure that the services and supports that you provide at Glen Burnie Park also align with your students' academic and emotional development needs?
Yeah, so everything goes back to data. We use quite a bit of different kinds of data. So anecdotal, we have our assessments, surveys. We had a really big Title I and community school survey out in the spring. And everything from our SIP plan, our community school plan, our Title I plan, all are, we braid funds. They're all in alignment. So we are all doing the work together. Certainly our full-time social worker this year has helped us tremendously. Our full-time nurse, this is now our second year, has made a huge difference and impact. We are partnering on just about everything because we want to make sure our students are supported.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a lot of effort in making sure that the supports that you're putting in place are aligned with what the needs are. And keeping everything aligned with your goals is just so important. So looking ahead, what's next for Glen Burnie Park Elementary School in terms of expanding your community school initiatives? How can people in the wider community get involved in supporting your efforts?
Yeah, so Glen Burnie Park, we are a hidden community. Like, we are in the back in the woods behind the aquatic swim center. So most people, when they come for the first time, we didn't know this school was behind here. So we need to ensure people know who we are. And so just getting the word out, I think this helps with some of that. But everyone who enters Glen Burnie Park knows that they're all in. You know, you get that from the smiles and the hugs and the welcoming, the kindness that just really everyone makes sure that they lead with. And that's with students and that's with staff as well. We do want to become more of a presence in the community. We just need the space to do that. So we're definitely looking at partners to help us and support us with that piece.
Well, I'm so glad we're able to be part of the journey of sharing with the world the hidden gem that Glen Burnie Park Elementary School is. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you'll have a fantastic rest of the year.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Now I'm joined by Amy Beller, the Community School Program Manager from Annapolis Middle School. Amy, Annapolis Middle serves such a diverse and vibrant community. What partnerships have you developed at Annapolis Middle that are really helping meet the unique needs of your students and their families?
Gosh, more partnerships that I could possibly list here, and we're really worried about leaving somebody important, everybody off. But we want to talk about today is how we provide opportunities for our students and families to belong, grow, and succeed as members of our Dragon family. It's important for us to make sure our students and families feel connected to our school and see our school as a resource to help and support their students' growth and success. Our community partners have been instrumental in helping us reach these goals. One of the many ways our partners support us is by helping students visualize their future. Students are able to explore interests and opportunities and to connect with the larger community. When our partners are in the building, students see the genuine care and commitment that our community has for their well-being and success. And to that end, we've partnered with Maryland STEM Festival, Charting Careers, Community Transitions, Community Action Agency of Anne Arundel County. Wegmans has been a great support for us. Local businesses, Be Present volunteers, the community college, and our career coach, which we get through the Blueprint. We really love having her there. I hate to even list the partners because I know we'll be leaving somebody out, but these are just a few, and we're so grateful for everyone who supports our students and families. Through these partnerships, we've been able to offer STEM days and career day opportunities, clubs focused on career development, field trips to expose students to career opportunities, family workshops connecting both adults and students to job opportunities and information.
It sounds amazing.
It's been pretty amazing this year, yeah.
So diversity and partnerships often means diversity and opportunities. And so that's awesome that there's so much being offered. So Amy, can you share a story about a student or a family that's seen significant positive change because of your school's work?
So just this morning, we had about 45 7th grade students earning their SOAR awards. Now you might say that's not just a student or a family, but let me just tell you, they got to cook on the griddle with our school counselor who runs a grilling club for the last 2 summers. The grilling club had put together the griddle for him. That was a donated griddle to our school. Not only were they recognized for earning this award, they were also able to learn these important cooking skills. Our grilling club students have so much pride in the cooking that they've been doing. They're even going to do some grilling for some of our events. It's just an example of how our students are able to really make these career connections that are occurring here at our school. So working with our career coach last spring, we turned our career day into career week. Yeah, it was really great. And so one of the speakers we had was from Watermark Tours in Annapolis, And he was talking to the students about all the different ways that they could build a career on the water. So that spring, when a couple of the 8th graders told our counselor that that they didn't have jobs for the summer, she called him up and said, hey, I've got these 8th graders, they need summer jobs. And he offered them all jobs. They all worked for Annapolis Watermark Tours downtown. And this is a career that they could actually build over time. They start out taking tickets, but then they can go to working on the boat. They could actually eventually be captains of a boat. So it's a real opportunity for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So both examples that you shared made me really excited. I am aware of that grill club that you guys have, and I've been waiting on an invitation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please tell your counselor. I told him directly. I
Okay.
want to be invited.
Okay.
Next time you guys have a celebration, because
We did have
I
a
know-
crab fest at the end of the summer. It was pretty amazing.
That's the one thing I don't like. I don't like seafood, and I'm in Maryland. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're really missing out.
Okay, so wonderful stories, and it's exciting to get to hear about them. And it's really amazing how truly transformational these sort of offerings are for kids and their experience in school. So we know that middle school can sometimes be really tough in terms of family engagement, for sure. There's a difference between the amount of participation that easily happens at elementary school versus middle and then even high school. But what's one strategy that's been really effective for you guys at Annapolis Middle in getting families involved and invested with what's happening at Annapolis?
So we've just tried this new thing. It's called Dragon Nights. So for Dragon Nights, the kids have the opportunity to come to school and hang out and socialize with each other. So they're either playing games or soccer or basketball, just hanging out and talking. We got music going, and they're just having a great time. They bring along their parents, and then for the parents, we have something separate for them. They this last month we did a painting class and a budgeting class. So they spent some time socializing with each other while they were painting, or they went over to the budgeting class, and that was facilitated by one of our partners who came to me and said, "Hey, I would love to be able to teach finance to your class, to your parents." And we're like, "This is great." What I found was that the parents came to me afterwards and said, we really enjoyed having this opportunity with each other. They made requests for the types of learning opportunities they'd like to see at Dragon Nights in the future. And we just had a really great turnout for that. And who knew that Friday nights would be the thing that would work? I mean, I just keep throwing things at the wall and seeing what happens. And Friday night really seemed to be a winner for us. There's lots of buzz around the building for the October Dragon Night. Kids are stopping me in the hallway and asking me when it is, when they can sign up. And we're just really looking forward to building on that momentum.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed that Friday night would be the night to plan. But
Who knew?
if they're showing up
Yeah.
and there's energy around it, you obviously did it the right way. So family engagement is so key, especially at that middle school level. How do you ensure that the resources and services you provide are supporting your students both academically and emotionally?
We are constantly looking at the data, whether it's formal measures such as attendance, behavior, or testing data, or more informal surveys and questionnaires with students and parents. We're just tracking which students and families are being supported by our community partners, who's attending events, who's getting involved in school activities. Just this week, more than 20% of our students in the building stayed for an after-school club on Tuesday. This is a significant increase over last year, and we haven't even rolled out all our Tuesday clubs yet. So we're really excited about this opportunity to see this increased involvement in the school. And you can feel the difference. The kids are just saying, I know that's not data, but you can feel the difference about the kids' excitement about being in the building and being a part of the Dragon community.
That's amazing. That's really exciting. 20%. That's
20%.
big numbers. So it also is a really thoughtful approach that you're sharing, and it's wonderful to hear how the energy is becoming contagious at Annapolis Middle. Okay, so finally, Amy, can you share with us some big goals for the future at Annapolis Middle School? How can the larger community, again, help you in achieving these goals?
The first big step for us is ensuring that all of our families and students feel like they belong to our Dragon community. I mean, that's something that we really find to be very important. When our families know that we're all in this together, we can continue to work together to support the growth and success for all of our Dragons. We're thankful for the larger community and the outpouring of support we have received. Individuals who want to be a part of our school can do #BePresent. We found that to be a really useful way to bring volunteers into the building, people who aren't directly related to us but want to give back to the Annapolis community. And anybody else who's interested in partnering with us can just reach out to myself or Casey Hunt, my principal, and we look forward to working with anybody who's interested in working with us.
Amy, thank you so much. I really enjoyed the time with you today. You have made very clear all of the fun things and important work that's happening at Annapolis Middle School. And I love that you lifted up the priority of making people feel like they belong, because of course we know that's tied to the strategic plan, that we are a place where students can, we're all people, not just the
Right.
students, can feel a sense of belonging so that they can grow and find success. And
Exactly.
so thank you for doing that work at Annapolis Middle School.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now I'm joined by Sherry Downs, the Community School Program Manager from Freetown Elementary. Sherry,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm so glad that you're here. So I want to talk about Freetown Elementary, and
Okay.
I know that this school has a long history of serving its community from the heart. How have partnerships at Freetown helped you bring new resources and opportunities to your students and their families?
I'm glad that you noted that they have a long history, because they really do, truly. And we're grateful for all of the partnerships that we have. But I'd like to just lift up some of the new ones that have come to fruition since community schools took place in Freetown last year. So we partnered with Operation Warm and FedEx for the Shoes That Fit program. So that was wonderful. It was such an amazing experience. Our families really loved it. We've also been partnering with Bedtime in a Box, which is originated from Baltimore, Maryland, that strives to help families with health and educational resources. We also partner with Community Transitions, which is Mr. Kenneth Starks. He's done wonderful things at Freetown so far. And then Maryland SNAP program, we've been partnering with them for our virtual cook-alongs. And then, of course, the wonderful Anne Arundel County Public Schools, County Library. And we also have an ongoing partnership with the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority,
Wonderful.
the Omicron Gamma Omega chapter, just to give a shout out to them.
Get it right.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get that right. But we've had a long partnership with them, but they've been so wonderful to Freetown that they've extended their services. We went from 39 students to 70, and they were more than willing to pick up that load.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Sounds like lots of great partnerships in place, and those really do make such a difference. Is there a specific story that stands out to you about a student or a family who've been positively impacted by the support your school provides?
So we have, I think, a couple, but Shoes That Fit has really impacted our community. We did it throughout the school day, so parents were not in the building during this time. But we had so many kids out. There was like a stomach bug or something going around at that time. And we had parents calling in saying, can we please participate in this program? And then we had a little bit of shoes left over, and we went to our communities and passed out during resources fair. So I really think that families were really excited to get those shoes. We went right before school. You know, there was no headache about getting new school shoes and things of that nature. So I really think it's impacted the community. The kids are walking down the hallway seeing the same color shoes on one another, and they're sticking their feet out, and they're like, oh, we have the same shoes. So I really have seen such a positive reaction from the students and the families
That's awesome.
from Shoes That Fit.
It supports creating a sense of belonging.
Definitely.
Right? So that's awesome.
Definitely.
So I love hearing these kind of stories. They show just how powerful a community school can be. And engaging families is often a challenge. What's one strategy you found particularly successful at Freetown for getting families involved?
Well, Freetown is blessed to have involvement, and we've consistently used what my version of a parent digest. We send it out every Sunday night for parents, and they know about what's going on for the week, including events, deadlines, times that they need to be where they need to be, early dismissals, and so it's just there for them. We color code some sections that need to stand out. But recently, we're very blessed to have started a podcast at Freetown that goes to the parents,
Okay.
and it's called The Pod, and they voted on it. So we've increased our family engagement by getting them involved. And so we're hoping that the pod is a way for them to send in the questions they want answers to, so that we can record ourselves, get those people in front of the camera like we're doing right here, so that that information gets spread wide and far.
That's a great idea, and I'm hoping that in us sharing this broadcast, someone will get that idea
Right.
and use it also. 'cause
I
it
hope so.
sounds really effective. And it's such an important part of the work is just sharing your message and getting people's voice and input. How do you ensure that the services and supports at Freetown meet both the academic and social emotional needs of your students?
Well, like my previous colleagues both have said, we use the data, right?
Yeah.
We use verbal data from our families. We use the data that comes from our surveys. We use the school data that comes in from Confidential Portal. And then we also partner with our social worker that we got new this year, part-time but still very effective. And then our full-time nurse. Infusing them in the work that we do academically has been such a powerful impact. And then, of course, our Title I and the braiding. So when we have events, making sure we have all of those focus areas incorporated in the event. And I think that's a good way to braid academics with wellness.
Absolutely. So it's clear that you've put a lot of thought, a lot of thought into making sure the whole child is supported. What's next for Freetown? What are your goals for expanding the impact of your community school, and how can the wider community, again, come in and be supportive and be involved in supporting those goals?
So what I think is next for Freetown is we're going to try something new. And so we're calling it the Community Gathering. And it is basically a night that encompasses every single person that is in our building. So we've incorporated different stations, different workshops, different resources, so that everyone has a place, going back to that belonging.
Right.
And we're going to sit down and have a nice meal together, right? Because we're trying to cultivate a community where everyone is involved. And we have a pretty large community, but we're up for the challenge, and we want to see that happen. I think that if you want to be a part of the Freetown Dolphin family, me and Miss Edmonds, our principal, would welcome you in any capacity. We have people that are coming in just to help us with a dismissal or arrival. We have people sitting with kids at lunch. We have parents and community members coming in during the day to help with our specialty programs, because we have ECSC and ACC in our building. And so reach out to us. You are more than welcome. We will find a space for you. Like I said, you can reach out to the principal, Miss Amanda Edmonds, or myself, Sherry Downs, and we'll welcome you.
Sounds like you'd love to have them.
Absolutely. Any day.
So we're in all of our schools. I think that the resounding message is that we're trying to make our community schools a hub in the community. And so to do that, we want to welcome you in, and we want to work alongside you to make sure that there is a strong partnership. So thank you so much.
Thank you
for sharing about Freetown. Thank you to all of our guests today, Samantha, Amy, and Sherry, representing for Glen Burnie Park, Annapolis Middle, and Freetown Elementary, for sharing the incredible work that's happening in your schools. Your dedication and creativity are truly inspiring to me, and I know our viewers are leaving with a better understanding of just how much community schools can accomplish. Stay tuned for our next episode of Community School Impact, where we'll continue to highlight the work that's making a difference for students and families across our district. Thank you for watching.